What you talking about now, Cine? I don't know, but you're gonna get some nuggets out of it though. But first, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn that bell on. There's a new video series dropping every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the random jam session whenever I'm in my bag. You do not want to miss out. Also, be sure to check out my books, man. The link's in the description below, right along with my vegan class if you're trying to go plant-based and stay plant-based. I'm telling you, it works. Oh, and lastly, be sure to follow me on Instagram at _just_scene_. The nuggets I don't put over here, I put over there, so you can always get me when you need me. But you ain't really coming for all of that. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out. So at some point, you have to then internalize and you have to rationalize the ideology that they were already Christians. They had some kind of connection to that, because when you present to them the fucking good ship Jesus, your mind has already started to perceive, oh shit, he's coming back. You feel me? Our people already understood metaphors. They already understood symbolisms and shit like that. So it's easy to say, okay, this is what it is. So, you know, it's for me and like I said, for me and my understanding, I don't know what people study. I don't know how people study. I just study the way that I study, and I understand the way that I understand. So for that dynamic to play itself out, and for it to show that, you know, we were forced into Christianity, that I think it had to be beaten into us more infused. But I feel like there had to be an aspect or a certain position of people who already had it. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, when I say the motherfuckers that was probably already here, they probably had to be beat into it. It probably had to be beat into them. But see, the fact that you're trying to separate the two and say, okay, we're not African, we're this, that, and the third, and it's like, yo, the people that came over as slaves from Africa and the ones that were here, they was able to blend and mix, and nobody was able to know the difference between the two. So when they came over, you know, the first time, like that's when the generational curses began. Like, don't get me wrong, because I don't want to come off like I'm trying to be on that, you know, the Deuteronomy type shit, because I don't really fuck with that indoctrination. I don't fuck with it. But so when you understand what I'm talking about generational curses, I'm not talking about the mystical religious aspect of it, because like I said, I don't see a curse as some magic shit. I don't view curse through magical shit, because for every curse there's also a blessing. So there's polarity. If you understand the 12 universal laws, you know, you have the law of polarity. So from the 12 universal laws, that supersedes all religious aspects and everything like that. So fuck the semantics and shit. I'm not really on that. But I'm saying that curse that occurred, it runs back farther than the 400, 500 years we're actually talking about. You feel what I'm saying? Depending on who you are. Now, the overlap, when everything started to coincide, when it collectively happened to us, was you know, that's where we start that 400, 500 year time stamp or whatever. But the curse, one of the biggest curses that we have is inferiority. The ability to perceive that we are inferior to certain beings and shit, right? You know, this is why, you know, you have to assert white supremacy. You have to assert that down. It's like, first off, like, I get that, you know, it's collective, that we like to, you know, talk about it. And that's how we identify the racism. That's how we identify it as, you know, white supremacy. They ain't supreme, bro. Like, stop. We got to stop. We got to find a new word for that shit. Like, a new term, new something, like, because it ain't nothing supreme about it. It ain't nothing supreme about them. Like, there's, like, you can't expect me to believe, like, I study genetics, like, I study this shit, so you can't expect me to to say something is supreme to me when their genetics are recessive. See, the thing about genetics is some powerful shit, and I'm gonna get back to track, but all of this shit ties in somehow. I know it'll just flow. Watch. But the thing about genetics is that they don't lie. Genetics is nature's template. That's what nature says is good. That's what nature says is bad. That's what nature says, here's the reality. You feel what I'm saying? So how the fuck can you be supreme when you have recessive genetics? I don't give a fuck about, you know, and see, when you don't understand genetics to that core, you only focus on skin tone, hair, and all of that shit, the physical shit. There's a phenotype and a genotype, my guy. And if the phenotype is dominant, the genotype runs a little bit longer than that, and it's a lot stronger. You know, so then when you understand genetic memory and things like that, and templates running back farther, there's no way in fucking hell you can call yourself supreme to me. It's just not a reality to me. But anyway, the one of those curses is the inferiority complex. But that had to be, you know, it had to be mutilated into you. You know what I mean? So we have that. We have one of those curses that we have to break and shit and all of that. And I don't want to get too deep into the curses but I want to discuss the actual template of it because I don't want to use too many details, as you know, this can easily drift off into something else. So, the genetic template, not the genetic template. I'm sorry. I said I'm not gonna go back there. So the generational curses are like. A generational curse runs, like I said, it runs down through generations. That's why it's generational. But it's like, how broad is this generation?